Girl, you are too funny.
No, am I lying though?
Hey, girl.
Hey.
Ciao. My daughter gave me our first topic for the day, honey.
Okay, and what is that?
How to deal with disappointment.
Oh, that's juicy.
When it comes, OMG. When I was talking to her, girl, I was just letting her know that, it's about 4 or 5 things that you can really do when disappointment happens, because that is something that everybody in their life will experience.
So true. And I always say to anybody, if you haven't experienced disappointment, just keep living. It's coming.
You ain't never lie.
So, definitely. But I think it's important to, kind of know when you experience that disappointment, how to pull yourself out of it. Because like you said, the inevitable is that everybody's going to experience it. But the problem is that not everybody understands how to get themselves out of that. And, disappointment is a root. It just will grow and turn into anger and then resentment. And then it can cause all kinds of problems for you. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Yeah,
and you know what? I look at it as the first thing we have to do is identify the disappointment.
Definitely.
And because sometimes we get stuck into this little rut, and when things happen and it doesn't go our way, we become angry.
We do. And one of the most important things is that, once you've identified it, you can kind of tell yourself, because what we do is we like to brush things off. We don't give things the attention that they need. Oh, I'm good. I'm all right. I'm all right. We want to play it big all the time. And it's just so important to kind of say, you know what, I don't like this.
Or, people look at it and say, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm going to give up.
Yeah.
This is some bull crap. I don't want to deal with this no more. And see, that's that defeated attitude.
It is. That bull crap is a nice way to say it. I've heard some other terms, but we'll go with bull crap. Okay, so.
Girl, I try to not curse.
Help me.
I try to not curse.
Okay, help me though. Help me. All right, yeah, you're so right though, right? Bull crap is what it is, and if we could just get ourselves to a place where we can kind of first just kind of see things for what they are, be real. I think the kids say keep it 100.
Exactly.
We got to keep it 100 with ourselves. After that, like you say, when you've identified, I think just kind of owning that. Once you own it. There's so much more you can do with it. You can say, I'm here at this place. Now, which way do I go?
Exactly.
I've already accepted the fact that, this did not go as planned. This is not what the outcome that I was looking for. We got to be real with ourselves, And so,
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, and after that, once you own it, you can just kind of move into the next space.
And I really, because I have experienced a lot of disappointments in my life, girl, honey. I have been divorced 2 times and married 3. So I have had a lot of disappointments, Sister Belle.
Exactly.
But you know what I did? Self-talk.
Yes.
That is the biggest gem ever. Once you experience that disappointment, sometimes you have to talk to yourself and say, my disappointment don't define me. So I have to look at my situation and say, how can I do better? How can I replan? How can I rework this? So I always would tell anybody, honey, the best counselor can be yourself.
Yes,
because sometimes you
indeed.
can't run to different people. It's good to talk to other people, but sometimes it's no one there in that dark hour.
So true. And if you can learn how to make yourself available to yourself, let you talk yourself out of some of these webs, that we get ourselves into. I think if we could learn to do that, instead of always looking, because it is good to have somebody sometimes on the outside, but just, there's not always going to be somebody available, and you've got to learn how to kind of coach yourself through these things. Definitely true.
And I always say it's important to have a good confidant. It's important to have somebody that you can really go to and know that person going to be that listening ear for you, because sometimes we do need that. But after you talk to that person and they give you advice, set out a new plan, set out a new direction so you can move forward after the disappointment.
Definitely.
Because it's so important.
Yeah, there's life after disappointment, and I think once you've done those things, the most important thing that's going to happen ultimately is that you're going to change your perspective. I always say to people, the way you see it is the way you're going to see it through. It's so important to kind of go through your mind and go through the motions and say, you know what? I've identified it, I've owned it. You know, talk to myself, because you know I think talking to yourself and that confident confident kind of goes hand in hand. Because see, right now you can pull yourself off the ledge if I start talking to myself first. Because see, Lo, you might not be available. You know what I'm saying? So you know, if you're not available, you know, because I don't have no problem picking up the phone to call you, but you know, if you're not available, I gotta learn how to start with me.
Yes.
You know, so
yes.
for start with me until I can get to Lo.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So definitely, and
because, honey, sometimes it's those dark hours. It's, you know, once the disappointment happens, you know, it's when you by yourself that depression can kind of seep in.
Yeah.
And that's when I tell myself, when I say self-talk, and I'm going to get into just a teeny bit.
Yeah.
When I say self-talk, sometimes you have to tell yourself, it's going to be a better day. This day will not always be like this. I'm more than my failure. I'm going to use this opportunity to move forward in life. This not going to get me stuck, because sometimes we can be trapped in our own mindset.
wow, trapped. That is a hell of an analogy. And it's so true. We can get trapped in disappointment, like I said, you know, and then we don't really want to push forward. I think you talked about it earlier about giving up. You know, sometimes disappointments can happen back to back, and you're like, you know, what is happening to me? You know, what am I doing wrong? And it's not really about what you're doing wrong. It's about an appointed time. An appointed time. And see, once we, you know what I like to tell myself, Lo? I like to say, go with the flow of the universe. I think headache and heartache come in when we don't, when we kind of resist, go against the grain. Think about, like, you know, the analogy of at the beach, you know, when the waves are coming in and you're trying to go into the water deeper, you can feel that resistance. But what happens when you let yourself go?
Yeah.
You see how smooth it is? How the flow is totally
I don't know
different.
how to swim. So when I think about that, I'm like, shoot, let myself go. Next thing you know, I'm in the middle of the water.
You gotta change your perspective. The flow is gonna
Hey.
carry you. You understand what I'm saying? So, Lo, that's been real powerful today, and I really think that you know you really made some significant deposits. You know, somebody is gonna be able to pick up and move forward with these tips.
Correct.
So let's run it back.
Yes.
So
Run it back for the people,
let's
baby.
run it back for the people. So the first thing is to identify the disappointment. And we talked about just first identifying the fact that we are disappointed. We don't like it. Okay? And we said you want to own it. So after you own it,
You give yourself that self-talk,
give
honey.
yourself that self-talk. And that's until you can get to your
Confidant.
confidant.
Find somebody you can trust, because, you know, society is changing now. I mean,
Yes.
sometimes it's kind of hard to find that trustworthy person, but everybody have at least one
At least
person that you
one.
can trust.
Exactly. And then
The
finally,
last one,
yep, change your perspective.
change your perspective.
Change the way you see it so you can see your way through. And once you do that, I think you'll be just fine.
I know that's right, honey. I always say, faith, believe, it'll be manifested.
Oh, yes.
So, this is Lo Lovely,
And Bella Scorpiano.
and we are your Deep Thought Thursday.
Ooh.